Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating it's Sunday, April 9th, 2017. In both the Lynn-Life and the Jamie Body Mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions and nature realm's guardians. For the past several days there's been a torrent of influx from above in what seems to be a massive collapse of dimensions where everything is coming down and souls are moving through here.
That's true.
Simultaneously, we are having some interesting symptoms. So in an attempt to unstick the situation even more and get out of this unworkable pattern that we find ourselves in, we are going to facilitate a healing session using the symptoms as a doorway. There are 3 symptoms in particular. One is a painful rash on the outside of the right ankle and a mirroring but less intense rash on the outside of the left ankle. During the time of year when we're not wearing shoes, it's flip-flop season.
That's true.
In addition, we have a curious outbreak of mold in 2 separate buildings at a seasonally unlikely time.
That is true.
And finally, both bodies are experiencing difficulties with speech, and this particular body was making a career as a public speaker, and that body was in theater. So these are not bodies that have troubles with clear speech, and yet it is flaring. So with that, the formally videoed portions of today's efforts begin.
Calling up higher, 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 intending to call out of the contaminated zone, intending to call the presences outside of the contaminated zone.
What might they want? Find the intersection of interest.
Good. Merging in, bifurcating for all of us who really want to know what's actually going on to the search for truth, central axis. All others flung away, bifurcating higher, higher, and again, all of us who really want to know what's actually going on to the search for truth, central axis, all others flung away, and now reaching up through that clear space, reaching the channels up, calling for the highest helpful hand.
And for them to look up and see if there are higher helpful hands, because there are multiple hands reaching, and they're different
and I
levels.
feel the looking up feelings.
There we go.
Seeing hands higher, heading the channels up higher.
Keep going,
higher.
keep going. Look up,
And
look
asking
up.
for them to look up and find the helpful hands above you. Heading the channels up, higher, higher, higher. There we go. Restating the intention to heal the root causes of the itchiness and pain and rash in the ankle and whatever these symptoms represent in such a way as to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. And I feel presence straight up, pulling up the channels, and it doesn't feel bad. Starting to be shown what looks like an avalanche of souls tumbling down a long well, like a stream of souls falling down a really long well, and then hitting the bottom of the well after what seems like an impossibly long time.
Yes.
And looking very confused. But we can see
other things too falling down. Not
yeah,
just
this is true. Not just
debris is with them.
Yes, that's true. Lots of debris.
Not just souls.
That's true. Houses and trains and lots of debris. Here we go. There, and all this debris, so much debris. What to do with all this debris? Someone is saying, don't send that back into the past with the souls, because I was starting to send the souls back into the past. And someone is saying, burn that debris. That debris has infected. It is infected. Problem. Don't send that into the past. That will make it worse. Burn that.
It is infected and it's causing mold.
This is true. This is true. Starting to burn from beneath it. Starting to burn from beneath the pile of debris. burn the contaminated debris that's been falling down from these higher
The souls, we have to
dimensions.
get the souls out of there. They don't want... Oh, it's interesting because they don't want to leave their stuff.
No, they don't want to leave their stuff, and they also don't want to be burned.
No.
I was trying to get them to go through the door, go out to the past, and they don't want to leave their things.
Well, maybe start it burning slower. Maybe.
That's good. Starting to burn slower. I can feel the burning starting under the pile of debris, and I hear some souls starting to leave the room kind of begrudgingly and drift back into
Burn
the
it
past.
faster.
Burning faster. There. And there are some souls who are refusing to leave and are now being burned. But that doesn't seem like a bad thing. That actually seems all right. And other souls are moving back into the past now. Burning the pile of debris, up, up, up. When I merge into the ankle itself, there's a big sad feeling and a feeling of not wanting to acknowledge something. It might be not wanting to acknowledge that something is over, or that
It's
some window of
over.
opportunity is closed.
That it's over.
Yeah, very much
That
not wanting
whole
to acknowledge
civilization,
it.
those dimensions have fallen. It's over.
That's true.
It's over.
It's over.
Their window of opportunity has closed.
That's true.
It's over.
That's true. And now there's the feeling of big, heavy errors. Errors of not acknowledging obvious realities, inconvenient realities, of not acknowledging that a window of opportunity has closed.
Plus all the errors of the civilization. Let's
Plus-
just do a nice big error
Yeah.
correction for that whole civilization.
That's really good. Correcting the errors for that whole civilization that's fallen, that's come crashing down. And now civilizations that feel like they had been higher, in higher dimensions, have fallen down on top of those collapsed dimensions that we are correcting errors for before. It's like the errors are impacting or compacting down. Correcting the errors for the dimensions come and gone. Asking what now? In order to heal the root causes of the pain, rash, and itchiness in the ankle, whatever these symptoms represent, in such a way as to manifest the divine plan for all dimensions, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. What now? I'm starting to smell a smell like mold as the errors are correcting.
I smell
a
it.
moldy smell.
Ideas that should have been let go of.
That
Long
is
since
true.
time to let go of these. They're moldy oldies.
That's true. They're moldy oldies, and they're floating around in the air. I can see the air.
Burn it. Burn it
Burn
all.
up.
It doesn't matter that they don't want it to burn. None of us are ready to let go of our ideas.
That's true.
We're not, but it's still time to let go of them.
That is true, and it burns really well. There's a big whoosh from the bottom of the pillar. I can see the moldy bits of ideas in the air catching fire quickly. Starting the burn from deeper in the pillar, where the little bits of moldy ideas were starting to fall under what looks like floorboards, those false floors. Burning from underneath the false floors, burning up. Burning all the things that need to be let go of. The moldy oldies.
Yes.
All the moldy oldies.
Yes.
And by calling them the moldy oldies, it's like the souls who had been holding on to these ideas no longer feel like they're so cool.
Right.
No one likes to be holding on to moldy oldies. That's not cool.
No.
And now I see them walking away. Walking back into the past and kind of picking up on the current.
This way to safety.
This way to
Or
safety.
that way to safety.
That way to safety.
That way to safety.
That way to safety. That way to safety. Saying to these souls who have fallen down into the pillar from the higher dimensions that are collapsing, go that way to safety. Go that way to safety.
Right through that patch in the ankle.
Right through that patch. There, now there's a flow going. Now there's a flow of souls moving back into the past, and they're not arguing and they're not fighting. There we go.
They're not fighting right now, but they definitely intend to fight as soon as we aren't looking at them.
That's true.
I don't know who they intend to fight. Maybe
don't know
each
who they
other.
intend to
I
fight.
can't quite tell. But I know that they intend to fight as soon as we aren't looking at them.
That's true.
Let's alert those above. Hello, friends. Those above say, look, there's nothing we can do about them.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do.
We've got our
about
hands
it.
full.
That's true.
All right. Well, they're going to cause damage in the past.
I could be wrong, but the feeling from those presences above is like, well, that's kind of your problem.
Well, let's alert those in the past.
Those
Heads
in the
up.
past. Heads up. Heads
Heads up. Trouble coming your way
Trouble
from
coming
the future.
your way from the future. Heads up. Well, there's a shift, merging in more deeply.
There we go.
Heads up. Heads up. Trouble coming your way from the future. And some of the souls who are moving back into the past are taking much offense that we're saying they are going to cause trouble.
Oh, okay, well then don't cause trouble.
That's true. And then you would prove us wrong.
Right. Please prove us wrong.
Much grumbling. That way to safety. That way to safety. Merging in. That way to safety.
Well, some of them are trying to come back. Listen, friends, this dimension is fully toxic to souls.
That's true.
It's been that way solidly for the past, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6 months.
That's true.
And getting progressively that way for the past 4 years.
That's true.
It's toxic to souls. Souls can't survive here. And it happens really, really, really fast. In less than a minute,
That's true.
it begins to impact the soul.
Now it feels like presences up above are trying to block the well or clog the well. So stretching up higher and burning the moldy oldies straight up through that well. Straight up through that opening. There we go. Higher, 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 higher. Maybe now we call up dead child souls because it's really open up above.
Yeah, it is open.
Starting to call up from below and draw up from below, running the cables up from below, and starting with the souls of dead machine zone children. Dead children from the machine zone who really want to get to God.
Especially those of our own equipment. Let's start there.
Yes.
This poor recording equipment, it takes such an energetic beating.
This is true.
The assault from above is just almost continual.
This is true, and there's a big opening in the heart.
Yeah.
Oh, and I feel a rush at the back, and it looks like little cameras with wings almost.
I see.
Fluttering up, flying up, and drawing them up the back. They come up easily, quickly. These machine zone souls. And what it looks like is the atoms of our equipment.
Yes.
Like the atoms of our cameras, our editing computers, our research computers.
Yes.
Going straight up, straight up.
Electrons and smaller subatomic particles.
Drawing up all those electrons of our machine zone equipment who really want to get to God. There we go. Lots of them moving up, and each one looks like a tiny version of the piece of equipment. Our sound transmitters, our sound receivers, our cameras.
And that crow is reminding us to include the nature realms children also.
That's true. There we go, and there's a sudden rush up the back of Nature Realms children too, merging in more deeply, and drawing up the Nature Realms children too.